so excited to do this workshop with you guys, and we hope that you guys can participate with us and actually learn. You know, we're not here to just talk to you, we're also to get you guys to participate and absorb the information and actually feel like you left with something. Alright?
So some of the basic things we're going to be talking about before we talk more about like icebreakers and stuff, we're just going to go over budgeting, credit cards. You guys are more than welcome to take notes if you want. Earning money, I'm sure everybody wants to do that. And achieving financial security.
And if you guys have any questions throughout, we'll wait till the end and then you guys can ask us questions.
Okay, so since you guys are already in a circle, basically, we'll just keep you guys in your seats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play a quick icebreaker. Everybody's gonna say their names and their pronouns, where you're from, like whether that's, if you wanna say what part of the city you're from, what country you're from, doesn't really matter, anything. And then what's one guilty pleasure you have when it comes to spending money? And then what's one thing you would buy, the first thing you would buy if you were given $1 million? So I'll let Zena go first.
Alright, so my name is Zena.
Hi, Zena.
My pronouns are she, her. I grew up in Canada, but I also grew up in Palestine, so I'm Palestinian. My parents are Palestinian. One guilty pleasure when it comes to spending money, I like to eat out, and I also like to buy makeup. And if I were given $1 million, the first thing I would buy in this economy is a house to own. If I'm real with it, if I'm an adult about it, it would be a house and probably like a nice trip somewhere really nice. So.
And as you guys can see, she's nice and tan because she just came back from a nice trip.
I went to Mexico.
Woo!
Halfway there. Yeah.
Is anybody here from Mexico?
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
From Mexico.
Nice.
I
Okay,
speak
so-
a little bit of Spanish.
Or you speak Spanish?
A little bit. A little bit.
That counts, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the ball to somebody, so just...
You go first as well.
Oh,
You have to answer the question.
I mean... my name's Abby Her. I'm born and raised in Toronto. I'm originally from Pakistan. My guilty pleasure when it comes to spending money is definitely also eating out. I love buying food, buy it every day. And if I was given $1 million, the first thing I would buy, which we were debating about, I would buy an island. And yes, you can buy an island under $1 million.
I found that out today. So.
Yeah, I would buy an island. Okay. So
We're gonna
throw
start
it.
going from left, or you can throw it actually.
Yeah, actually, no, that makes sense.
No.
You can throw it to whoever you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can actually throw it to everyone. You have to answer.
No. Okay.
So you can answer first, and then you throw it to whoever you want. But each person has to answer.
Okay, well, my name is Johan. I'm from Mexico. I was born in Mexico, in Mexico City. And I think if I have the money, I'm gonna buy a car, maybe food, and that's it, I guess.
What's your guilty pleasure in buying something?
What do you spend your
Un
money?
gusto así como culpable.
Oh, I don't know. Bacon with chocolate. That's it.
Hi, my name is Emma and my pronouns are she, her. And I am from Mexico. And I think I don't have a guilty pleasure. I think I don't have. And one thing that I will buy is a travel ticket from anywhere. I don't know.
Smart.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha. I'm from Kenya. I like buying shoes, and if I get money, I'll buy a big house. Hi.
I think you can get a small house in Toronto.
That's why when I get money, I'll definitely go for a big house.
Hi, I'm Lydia from Kenya. My beauty, I like buying bags and shoes, and if I get money, I'll buy a car.
What's your guilty pleasure though?
Bags and shoes and bags.
I am not Portugal. One guilty pleasure would be buying clothes. If I was given $1 million, I would take my parents back to Portugal.
Hi, my name is Gabriel. I am Ethan. I'm from the Philippines. One guilty pleasure I have is for some reason I like trying new stuff a lot. So I don't know. When I see something dumb, I like buying the stuff. Like the dumbest thing you can buy, I'll just buy it, and that's how I go broke sometimes. If I were to have $1 million, I would probably start a business or get an apartment. I don't know.
Smart with it.
Yeah.
I'm mainly on the business of the t-shirt. 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 Yeah, I made up t-shirt because of buying of business for future business and on my own. So thank you.
T-shirt? T-shirt business?
T-shirt. Shirt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Y un placer, un gusto. ¿Y qué compraría con $1 millón?
Hi, my name is Ricardo. My pronouns is he. I'm from Mexico. ¿Cómo se pronuncia?
Un gusto culposo.
No sé. Ay. Wait. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? No sé qué decir. Ok.
¿Qué comprarías con $1 millón?
Ay, pero sí, ya sé, pero ¿cuál es la pregunta?
Tú puedes.
Comes to spend money. Yeah, I wanna buy a car and a home. You know,
Hello, my name is my pronoun is Houston. I'm from Jamaica. Guilty pleasure when it comes to spending money is with games. I like to explore new things also, and I like food a lot. Even now I have to be changing my diet, so I like food because I have irritable bowel. If I were given $1 million, what would I buy? I feel like I would want to fund a non-profit organization
Oh, Jaheem.
who are not able to receive certain benefits, and I would invest the rest of it.
Sweet. That's smart.
Nice.
I have ADHD, I have a really bad habit of like buying random hobby stuff. So I have like $1,000 worth of like camera equipment. I'm into embroidery now because it's one of my hobbies. Yeah, just random things. I probably like gave it to him. The weirdest thing, I'll just buy it. If I were given $1 million, I'd probably like invest it right now. I don't know if I could buy my boring answer. I know, it's so boring, but I'm a sensible adult.
What would your inner child tell you to buy?
I don't know. Island is a good one. Probably like a luxury trip for like me and all my friends, maybe. Probably like quit work. I love you guys. Out for a few years. Yeah. Jorge?
So my name is Jorge. My name is Jim. I'm from Guatemala. Guilty pleasure, I think. My guilty pleasure is merch. Any kind of merch that I see, I just
Orange Happy.
orange hat. Really good merch. Yeah, I think I would buy too much money and have enough money to do it, to buy stuff. With $1 million, the sensible answer is a house, obviously. Like a place to
Who's
stay
buying
here.
a house for $1 million here? I want to know. Who in Toronto is buying?
You can buy a fixer up, you know.
Not in Toronto.
Not in Toronto.
I
Maybe
want
like
York
fixer
Bay,
up.
Ontario.
I would not buy a house here. I would buy a house somewhere else.
Saskatchewan?
No, not in Canada.
Very Canada.
Not in Canada. Yeah, that's a good option.
Yeah.
You can buy a big large house somewhere else.
Yeah.
I could buy a big large house in Guatemala.
And actually made out of stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual big house.
Yeah.
That's the sensible answer. The actual answer probably would be something like unlimited unlimited trips to like and plane trip anywhere, really.
Wow, that's
As
good.
much vacation as I can.
Ooh.
My name is Kalia. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from Trinidad. One guilty pleasure, I'm like my girls spend way too much money on clothes. And if I were given $1 million, I would max out my TFSA contributions, invest in maybe NASDAQ and a rental property if I could.
Ooh.
Great. Okay. That was the icebreaker. Thank you guys for sharing. We know you a little bit more now. So we can move on to the actual workshop. So we're gonna start with budgeting. So from here on, we're gonna just tell you a little gist of it. We're gonna tell you some components on how to budget. You know, some tips as well. You guys are, some majority of you guys I think are teenagers, right? So you guys are first now starting to make your own income. You're starting to make money by yourself. You're going to go out in the world soon to make your own money. So we're going to be explaining these things. So income, debt, savings, and expenses. You guys want to read a little bit for a minute or so, and we can move on to the next. Amber, do you have any other things you'd like to say?
No, so basically, yeah, these terms, you're going to hear them a lot, these terms, throughout our presentation. If you want, you can make a little note. We are playing a Jeopardy game with prizes. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
So,
You guys are we're gonna let you guys start listening from here and pay attention so you guys can win. Yes.
Start writing down.
This is not just about winning.
Active income every day. You go in, maybe you work 20 hours a week, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. That would be considered your active income. Passive income, you guys might know a lot about too. This is pretty popular nowadays. Is money you make from like side hustles. Does anybody here make money on the side? Does anybody do a side hustle?
And it does not have to be this insane amount of money. Even if you make $15 from it, that is considered passive income. So has anybody made like a business of themselves or a service of any sort?
Or if you make money on social media,
yeah,
TikTok, Instagram, you can make money off of it.
I used to play drums for some gigs before.
You used to play, drums?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
wow,
that is
cool.
passive income.
Yes, exactly. So that would be considered money you earn without essentially going to work, but money you can earn on the side. Another example is if you have a car and you rent out your car for people to borrow, that would be money you make on the side. You know, you can make it without doing much work. You kind of just get it as you lay back. Social media is another way to make passive income. If you invest in a stock, as Kalia was saying, if you invest in a tax-free savings account. Does anybody know what a tax-free savings account is? It doesn't matter if you don't.
Kalia does.
Savings, not tax.
Kalia does, yeah. Basically, it's a account you can have with a bank where you literally just put money in it and you can earn money from it.
Even if debt doesn't always have to just be to the government, even if you owe money to somebody else, that could be considered debt if we're talking very logically. But yeah. And then we also have our savings that we want to cover. So does anybody, without looking at the board, what do you consider savings to be?
I'm gonna give everybody else a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just money. Say you get your paycheck. So some of that money you put aside. You don't spend it on yourself, and you just put it in
To debt. For example, if you're just walking down the street and your tooth gets knocked out, and you need to go to get emergency dental work done, you would, it's better instead of using like a credit card or something, and you need to pay like $1,500 at the dentist to fix that. It's good to have a certain amount of money to do that without going and putting yourself into debt. For example, me, I had a really bad cavity. I didn't have a good amount of savings, and I had to get money. I had to get $1,500 to get emergency dental work done because I had a really bad toothache that could not wait to be fixed. So
yeah,
should have listened to my own
I
workshop.
also want you guys to remember this, even if you guys want to write it down. You just put it in your head: 50, 30, and 20. So from this, 50 feels special, and it's part of it. You can't just keep your money for only needs, because then you'll always feel anxious for the rest of your So next group, thank you. Next group, does anybody want to volunteer? We're not going to volunteer. We're just pick you. Let's do it.
I think things important is electrical bill, the household cleaning supplies, winter boots, jacket, and gym membership.
Interesting. So they put electricity bill, household cleaning supplies, winter boots, winter jacket, and a gym membership as needs to agree. Walk everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of, well, yes.
So really,
Yeah.
that's really helpful.
Thank
That's
you.
impressive. Good job. Yeah. I guess our point is that I think in terms of different demographics and different age groups,
And different priorities
Yeah,
and needs.
yeah.
Maybe some people can't walk
Yeah.
often or can't walk for long periods
Yeah.
of time.
and at the end of the day, everybody has different things that they spend on their money, and some things are your needs and some things are your wants. So yeah, I guess that's our point. Is we wanted you guys to interpret it yourself, and sorry, we have the last group.
So for our needs, we chose cell phone bill, cups and plates, and moderate detergent. And for our wants, we chose McDonald's, arcade games, and the PS5.
Yeah. So there was some controversy over here about the PS5. I don't know.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty agreeable.
RJ?
Do
you agree
with the PS?
That's
the fine.
That might be
PS3.
Maybe they use it for school, I don't know. You can use it for internet. I don't know.
It's fine.
I don't know. So basically the point of this exercise was to get
To invest in my skincare products, but I don't really use much for skincare. I just buy soap, and I use a lot of olive oil as well for moisturizing, for cooking. So that's a need of mine. My wants, I guess my wants would be like my Netflix subscription, like my Spotify, my Apple Music. I'm a person that loves music.
She's a musician and a singer.
Yeah.
Woo!
Songwriter. So
Okay.
I would actually to talk about that. My needs would be a microphone. I need to record music for my career, and I need a laptop, and I need a software program to record music. But that's my need.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't do it.
I am not a
professionally.
singer. Don't even try. But for example, this might be relatable to you guys since I'm assuming most of you live at home. I live at home. Presto is really important, so I can get to and from. Like that's a need rather than rent. Another need. Money for food, right? Allocating small amounts of money for certain types of food, things like that.
I need vitamins.
Yeah.
So I need
Woo!
vitamins in my house.
Yeah, immunity.
For everybody. You should have put that on the
All right.
Yeah. What are your wants? Your wants.
I want everything.
Alright.
Be good and it can be bad. Interest can be earned. So a lot of banks will have savings accounts where if you put maybe $500, you can earn a small percent of interest, which is money, on that amount. So let's say I put $500 into a savings account and it had a 5% interest rate. Maybe if I keep that $500 there at that amount for like a month or 2 months, they will give me 5% of $500, which is not a lot of money, but it would give you a small amount of money. The more you save it, the better, like the higher the amount will go. However, with credit cards, you can also owe interest. So going back to this example, if I take Zena's $1,000 from her bank and I don't pay it back for many months, eventually they will build interest on my money and charge me small amounts of money. As it gets as the time grows, my interest, the money I owe, will also grow. Yes.
Why is it that they put like
Right.
yeah.
The money banks have, they get from us, consumers, people, like they're a business. They get their money off of us. And most people, banks are very like, this has nothing to do with the workshop, but this is my personal opinion. I think that banks do play on your spending habits. So if you, especially for young people your ages, if the bank sees that you spend a lot of your money and you're paying it back, they will increase your credit limit. Because they see that, oh, this person really likes using their credit card for food and Netflix and going to the movies. Let's give them more money because then they'll owe us more money, right? So you have to be smart with a credit card and not make sure if you have a monthly monthly statement, you pay it off as much as you can, and full is better, right? So things like that are really important when you're working with banks because they do play with your
Emotions.
your emotions. Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
psychological thing. They can see when somebody's a fast spender. They can see when somebody's more of a calm spender, right? Like,
And it's human psychology. It could be a big number that you were given and someone says, here, this is money that you can spend. That doesn't mean that it is your money and that you can spend it all. I think you're put in a situation where you think that you have that money and you feel like you can spend it all, but you can't. So just because you have that certain limit doesn't mean that you can go over that limit, especially if you can't pay it off right away, right? So I was even gonna say when it comes to interest, when you have a credit card, you have a minimum payment that you have to pay. So you don't have to pay off the entire thing every month if you can. There's usually a minimum payment. So say you have $2,500 as your credit limit. Maybe they'll give you a $40 monthly minimum payment. If you don't pay that off every month at the time, at the end of the month, your interest will go up, and it could go from 40 to 50 to 70 every month. So you want to avoid your interest and your minimum payment going up by just paying it on time, right? So just with the credit cards, pay it on time. Don't think you have to pay it off right away if you can't. Don't feel like because you can't pay it off right away that you can't pay it off at all. Just go with the minimum payment. Always avoid interest, right? Interest is a dangerous thing. I don't agree with interest. So, and I think it's important to tell you guys this as well, because like Amber said, banks are a business. They do target people and their spending habits and their spending limits by giving them numbers. So just stay aware of that and always remember to pay off your credit. And don't think because they offer you another credit card that that's okay. Always avoid having more than one credit card. That's my advice, all right?
Something else I'm just gonna add on to that is that when you guys, if anyone planning to go to university, university students usually don't have jobs, they're looking to like go out, maybe buy like drinks, and maybe go out with their friends and spend, go to the mall after school and stuff. So you have to be really careful with those types of scams as well. And it'll seem like it's all great, but on those campuses, those credit cards have really, really high interest rates. So if you don't pay them off, you're gonna owe them a lot, and it's gonna affect your ability to buy a house later on. And all that stuff. So think like far in advance, not just what you want to spend in here.
and it's also important to know, a tip I would give you guys as somebody, maybe you guys don't have credit cards yet, when you do get your first credit card, a good thing you could do, I did this, you take your phone bill, right? You use that as your credit card. That way every month, when you most likely are definitely going to pay your phone bill, most people pay their phone bill, that will show them that, hey, like, look, I have a $40 phone bill, I paid it off every single month, and then it shows them, like, look, I'm a responsible person, and it builds your credit history, right? A credit history is basically a history of your credit, how you spent your money, how much you paid it back. And then when you're older, maybe like 30s, in Toronto, 40s or 50s, when you're buying a house, when you need to buy a house and stuff, they look at your credit history, right? So maybe right now it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter. But for credit cards, paying your bill in full, right? If you are using your credit card for a phone bill and maybe a gym membership every month, and your total is $150, make sure you pay that $150 at the end of every month. If you're unable to, at least pay the minimum payments. Avoiding missing payments, right? That goes back into number 1. Number 3, only using 30% of your credit limit. This is something my aunt told me. My aunt used to be an accountant. Using 30% of your credit card amount is a good idea, because you're not using, pretend you have $10,000 credit card limit. I'm not going to use $10,000 every month on my credit card. So what I might do instead is only use 30% of 10,000, which I don't know the number, but also as a small experience. So it's good to buy, as we were doing in the needs and wants game, a basic laptop, right? Nothing too flashy, right?
Would basic be used though? What would you consider basic?
getting just an affordable laptop. It doesn't have to be used.
Yeah, it can even be a
Of course.
MacBook, like, right? Like,
Like
a
you
MacBook
don't,
can be.
I don't think you don't need a shiny new laptop with like different kinds of brightness and different types of screens. And
Yeah, buying a used
cameras,
laptop,
you know what I mean?
right? If you're tech savvy, buying a used
Unless
laptop.
you can afford it. If you feel like you can afford luxury, you can. Then like you know, it depends on your spending limit, right?
And if you have the money in your debit card to buy a nice laptop and you want a nice laptop, buy it. Just what we're saying is don't use your credit card to buy something flashy, right? Things like that. Overspending on your credit card is not the best way to use your credit card. Right? So, who here has played Jeopardy before? The income where you don't have to do a lot of work for it, technically. So you're being more.
I am blank aggressive.
Ooh, that was a good word. Aggressive.
No way.
The answer was, anybody want to throw a shout out? Labor work, like mowing the lawn, right? If you're good at babysitting, you love working with kids. These are all ways you guys can earn your own money on the side.
The whole point of this workshop is to also just get you guys to understand how money works and how to use money. We don't want you guys taken advantage of or to feel like you don't have any education about it. So this is for you at the end of the day.
Oh, you didn't use the chocolate?
And eventually you guys are going to want to earn
No, I
your own
didn't.
money. You guys want to buy your own thing.
I just ate the fruit.
Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone to make your own money or to make some income, right? So if you need a part-time job, if you feel like that's your way of making money, you get a part-time job. If you feel like you want to do your own business, you want to be your own employer, then you do that. So say like even teaming up with your friends. If you guys have a business making shirts, maybe you guys are in a band or do something, then you guys do that, you know? Also avoid impulse purchases, like we said. Don't buy things that you don't need. Maybe things that you want, put some money aside, build your